Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Paranoia Agent, Episode 4. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, we've got everything with Harumi and Maria.
Right.
Her story just, kind of,
Resolved-ish. Like, because we haven't really seen much from characters other than Tsukiko post...
Well, Ichi slash Yuichi, we've seen him a bit because he was connected to Maria slash Harumi as
and
she tutored him.
Different, so maybe she'll be different too.
Yeah, but there does seem to be a kind of a snake trail of sorts from person to person,
right? Because
the next person seems to be one of the clients.
Yeah.
And
then there's the whole thing of
overweight guy who was like her daddy.
Right. Yeah. And the whole thing of, I caught Shonen Bat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sure you did.
Okay. He did have a little bit of a line that seemed that he was a little bit of maybe of a social outcast, and that he was saying that like, you're the only one I could open up to, or something, or I could get close to,
or get comfortable with.
I think that's what it was exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
You're right. So that could lead to maybe some interesting things where he's got some other kind of a double side. Like most of the characters. They seem to have some kind of a double nature of sorts.
Right, like it's been the most obvious with Harumi slash Maria and Ichi, but even with Tsukiko.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we'll just look for more patterns as we go into the next character that gets kind of the focus of the show. But the structure is leading us to a lot of random theories and conclusions. So they're not disproving or like tying in too much to either one. So right.
Yeah.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh. Oh, the music just stopped. Oh.
どうしたの？つながりが見えてきたようです。はい。まずちょっとこちらを見ていただきたいんですが、石山君のクラスメート平雄一君、そして平君の家庭教師をしていた長野晴美さんが。
Okay.
じゃあこの女がマリアだってのか。なんてこった。
Yeah, this is the guy. Yeah.
そうだな。わかった。心配するな。
Some kind of movie, right? Like
I think so.
Okay. また関連性ですか。
Huh! The law of causality!
関連性があったのはありがたいんですが。
We have the guy who worked on the Berserk soundtrack in here, and now we have laws of causality. Probably one of her characters right there is that toy.
Could be.
とにかく引き続きよろしく頼む。
Cool.
But now we have the closed loop of how it can get back to the officers.
Yep. So what's this guy's
嫌にお疲れみたいじゃないか。連性がどうとかって言ってたが、その長野晴美というのが
4人目の被害者平雄一の家庭教師だったんだ。
関連性ありだな。
助手なんだが、まだ治らんのか。
これはもう一生もんだな。
そうじゃないか。念願のマイホーム。
そっちのローンも一生もんよ。
Wait.
まあ、ダメさ。毎日メッシと飯を食いってね。この晴美はホテドルについちゃ口を割っていないようだ。だが、あくまでも今のところは。
He's Yakuza.
Okay. I was gonna say, how does a police officer make that much money?
He's a dirty cop, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's the duality.
Yep. So how is this going to spiral out of control for him?
それと、ほれ。
お客さんはいくつなんですか？
お父さん。俺のことはお父さんと呼んでくれ。
Okay.
しょうがないだろう。係長、
Okay.
お前と違い今さら出世も望めん。ま、男一匹はぐれ星。せいぜい地道に働いて男の務めを全うするさ。
Despite all this other stuff you've got going,
right.
he's dedicating all of it specifically for the cause of his family.
But it seems like it's more for him.
This is how he sees himself, as being the hero, doing all this stuff for them. taking on the world, Yakuza, and whatever. So he reads manga. Oh,
Yep.
oh, who this? Oh, boss of some kind.
半田君とはまあ仲のいい友達みたいなもんで。
友達。え、聞いてますよ。200万。
え？
Oh. Yikes.
That's a lot of money.
婚約したんです、半田のやつ。で、婚約祝い、友達は一律200万ってことで集金してるんですよ。
Whoa!
バカな。
夢のマイホーム資金、燃やしちゃう。
Oh, crap.
Okay.
Crap.
それじゃあ3日後、集金に伺いますから。
Oh! Ah!
That's crazy.
So Shonen Bat comes to save him and does an insurance thing so that he can get the 2 million yen quickly, because it's not like he can sell this and get serious money from it. It's under construction. It's not a valuable asset yet. No, you're not going to rob an old lady, are you?
Really?
Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh, man.
Buddy, no. He's an old fat guy. Like, how is he gonna...
Well, I mean, she's an old lady. She wouldn't be tough, but...
Oh, he's gonna use the hill to...
Just grab her purse and go.
You have to...
Oh, he's gonna fall. He's gonna bite it. He's gonna bite it.
しばらく待ってくれ。残りは必ず。
じゃあ、立て替えておきますよ。
Oh.
残り200万。
Wait.
Whoa.
Wait. Is Honda the old guy that's... Jeez.
I didn't think it'd just be like straight up extortion. I thought it'd be like, we need you to do something and you can't say no, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Well, and why is he just... If this is a different day, why would he be just going around with the mask?
Oh, so he's dreaming. He's daydreaming.
Daydreaming.
Okay.
Yeah, that...
Oh. Whoa.
Oh, man.
It's like, you used to be really talkative. What's your deal?
Yeah.
Jeez.
恋と涙と命までかけた星空を男が吠えて男の道筋はつけるつもりだ。
Yeah, he's all alone. He doesn't really have anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, his wife and kid, they're obviously like separated or something. So.
Well, no, I think he's still with them.
Then where are they?
嫌ですよ、Hirokawa先生。私はただ立て替えてる500万払っていただこうと思ってお邪魔しているだけですよ。
500万
This is cruel.
Yeah.
許してくれ。
自分の幸せってのはね、Hirokawaさん。他人の不幸の上に成り立っているんですよ。
Wow.
奥さんや娘さんのためにも。
Now it's just in your face a bit more.
Yeah.
なんだお前は。
俺は名もない。
根なし草。
借りよう。
返しに来てやったぜ。
大丈夫か。助けに来たぞ。
やめてくれ。20年やっと食べた金なんだ。
私たちのマイホーム資金なの。
安心しな。
お嬢さん、もう大丈夫だ。
あんた。
Oh boy.
But doesn't he realize there's no end to this?
Oh man. While he's still here.
お父さんと呼べ。
Whoa, bro.
No.
No. Please tell me. No. Oh, he cracks.
怒りか。
Oh, help him.
Yeah.
Come on. Wait, is that the...
No.
The restaurant guy looked like the mob boss guy. It looked
If
like...
that's...
What would be all the bad luck in the world for him to... Oh.
それはお前あれだよ。いろいろだ。
He covers up the match burn.
Okay, it's not
Yeah,
him,
different
but it does look kind of like
Yeah,
him.
similar hairstyle.
Yeah.
もうそうじゃないのかもしれん。
Oh, we'll get into this discussion.
理由のない犯罪。それ自体が目的となってしまった犯罪。
Whoa.
いくら関連性や意味を求めても、そこには何もない。からこそ俺は星を上げてみせる。
Okay.
時代に食らいついてってやる。
そうか、お前が追ってるのは時代か。いいぞ、頑張れ。
So was he like just still high from the drugs, or?
これから私たちの
Well,
時
I
代
think
が
this
来
is
るの
just the
ね
way he's kind of reconciling it in his head.
もう誰にも
Because
止め
he's
られない
always
ぜ。
seen himself as being the hero that does all the stuff for his family.
止めてくれ。
Oh
Man.
this is so
止めてくれ。
sad. Yeah. Oh, it looks
The
kind of
mask.
like looks kind of like the big character.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
the heck?
Yeah. Is that something we were supposed to make a connection with, like, before?
Here it comes. Wow, we actually saw the
We
face.
saw the face pretty up close there.
Yep.
Oh.
Whoa.
Okay. Wait, so he actually does...
No
Wait.
way. No way.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
私の
Wait.
で数週間にわたり犯行を重ねていた連続通り魔犯が昨夜ついに逮捕されました。そのおまわりさんが勤務する交番の前で会見が始まる予定です。
Oh, now he's too public in order
犯人
to.
逮捕に至る経緯を詳しくお話
Sure.
願えますか。
自分は
So... Okay, so I guess now they can start a different conversation.
Right.
More
Which
of like
is
what they were
why-
talking about. Of why
right.
do they do these things?
Why are you doing this thing? Because this is the thing.
Right.
This kid
Uh-huh.
might end up being just. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I just thought it'd be fun. But then they go into it and it's like, okay, so do you remember these people? Why did you hit them? It's like, I don't know these people.
Right, like...
That's what I think's gonna happen.
Yeah, this is where, like, okay, it was psychological before, but this is where it can get trippy because
Right.
because I feel like it'll either get trippy or it'll get too simple for something that this show would do. Like the
I
like
agree.
the
It
other option.
wouldn't go that simple.
Yeah.
So we have someone that legitimately was caught
Yeah.
as Shonen Bat. It's
Uh-huh.
now confirmed by other
Matching
people.
physical description and everything. Like
Yeah. But here's the thing. Because Shonen Bat had become such a culture-wide phenomena at that
Uh-huh.
point,
It
all
is
it took
possible
was
that-
for a copycat to come in.
right.
God, it's gotta be it.
Yeah, and that could be what it is, because
Because
Yep.
then this kid, all he has to do is just say, he was robbing people. I had been following him or something. Like, I'm being a hero or something. Like, you know,
赤い光の導き
guided by the red
に今
rays.
と昔の若
Oh, this is that spot from the opening.
あっと驚く日の丸
Whoa.
桜オラワル
Wait.
様聖なる剣が戸を叩き開けてびっくりパラパパッパパ
okay,
I almost think we should stop watching these.
maybe.
Because
I
what the actual...
yeah, I have no idea.
All right.
Okay.
Well, this episode ended
Mm-hmm.
a lot differently than I thought it would.
Yeah.
We
Same here.
have now a confirmation of a specific, physical, real person being caught
Right.
impersonating the Shonen Bat at the very least.
Uh-huh.
Now, this might actually be the real Shonen Bat. This might actually be
Right.
like the person that, serial attacked, all
Mhm.
5 of the people.
And if that's the case,
involved
then
before
we
this.
then we will need a solid story of their story, right? Of
Right.
what brought them to the point where they
Which is
started
going to be
doing
in the
this and
next
everything.
episode here.
Probably, yeah.
So Hirokawa is connected to this whole thing, though, which is odd. The idea that it's still something that through a person that's connected to this, and they literally had the exact same formula of the wish of something that would come and take them out of their situation that they were currently stuck in. That there was essentially a cycle of their environment that was oppressing, torturing, aggressing against them.
There was a version of themselves that they didn't like.
And
they wanted to change it.
That too.
Right? And then suddenly Shonen Bad appears. Now, in some ways, Hirokawa's wish is still fulfilled. Because now he is actually the hero.
He is.
Because
how
before,
convenient,
before it was him imagining that he's the hero, he's going around and he's doing these awful things for the good cause of caring for his family, and also, okay, yeah, you're in trouble, right? You know, you're in too deep. But now he actually is the hero because he stopped this person, and maybe that'll give him a raise or something like that. Maybe that'll help him out with his financial situation. Maybe he'll be enough in the limelight for right now that the mobster guy he will avoid him for now. You know, like that's a very real possibility
for sure. Yeah. So, there was a guy that Hirokawa was leveraging money against him to pay for his house, basically, because he was Yakuza. So he went to this guy, and this was the part where he was talking about how early on, this is like really early on, where he's talking about how, like, don't worry, they didn't mention the prostitution ring. So he went to Honda Enterprises to talk to Honda. And I'm a complete idiot. Honda is obviously this guy here. And he's basically saying that, oh, it's okay because Harumi didn't talk about the prostitution ring. Something that I believe Honda maybe was overseeing.
However, it's
only for the time being.
Right. There's the idea that, okay, so what I was thinking originally was that it was like, we're going to need to take her out or something. But it's actually okay, yeah, I'll keep quiet, you know, as long as you, like, help me with all this stuff. Giving him a little bit of money, setting him up with a new girl, you know, like, just all this stuff, right?
Right. So his whole motivation is spelled out right here. He's doing whatever it will take because he believes himself to be the hero. So he's above doing anything wrong. Like, he can't be judged as being a bad man. Like, he calls himself, I'm going to end my life as a good man. And if you look at all the things that he does, no, this is not a good guy.
Yeah.
You look at all the things that he does and why he does it. The why doesn't cover up the fact that...
right. It doesn't even seem to be for his family because his family are never shown here. Like, they're not important. You
never see them.
Right? But you definitely see a bunch of hookers and stuff that he gets with. So, you know, like...
there's a possibility that the wife and kid is very much like the manga. He sees himself as the main character in that, so it's all for this family, this girl, you know? So everything he does is A-okay. And you shut down your...
Can you shut down your feelings so you don't have to question the moral ambiguity of your violent actions?
Yep. It's basically that.
Yeah.
Until we see his wife and kid, and then we know that, oh, okay, at the very least, he does have a family and they exist. And
even if he doesn't maybe necessarily care about them as much as he pretends to.
Yeah.
So...
I do get the feeling, though, that they are going to be real, and it's just that they're separated or something. Like, there's some reason why he doesn't spend time with them, and he's constantly, you know... Like, at the very least, he's not getting his sexual needs met through his wife because he's going to all the hookers here and stuff, so he's not, you know, dealing with that.
Yeah. Well, and the way he looks at the house seems very much like something of, this is for me kind of a thing. Yeah, it's some kind of a dream that goes into ideals. Yeah, in a weird way. It almost seems like it ties into his whole thing of needing to be called daddy by the hookers. Sure. Of basically being the one that's in control. Being successful. Being in power. Exactly, right. Even though... Fits very much with him being like, I'm the protagonist. Yep, exactly. Yeah. I'm the protagonist. I'm the super cool guy that all the people are like, brother, you know, what are you doing? You know? Yeah. And, but this is what a man must do. Yes, I walk a man's path. Exactly. And we've seen that at his workplace, he's not expecting any kind of promotions or things like that. You know, it's just he's doing his thing, right?
I love that they had the conversation between him and the police chief. And basically the whole thing of him being like, I'm out of touch with this generation. Like, I don't understand this generation, basically. But then you have Hirokawa here, who's basically like that guy from The Simpsons, who's like, am I out of touch? No, it's the kids who are out.
Yeah.
I love that meme so much. And even though Hirokawa doesn't comment at all really on the generation that they're in, you can feel Satoshi Kon kind of coming through the dialogue that they have together there, even though it's mostly just the police chief kind of talking to himself and Hirokawa's just spouting nonsense.
Well, right. Hirokawa's like trying to basically cover for the fact that he's not doing well inside.
Yes.
And that normally he'd be the bubbly, talkative person that'd be, making the jokes and things like that, right? But not anymore.
Not
right?
anymore, no.
And he's kind of paranoid about it, because he doesn't want anyone to find it out. But, oh man, that was a great comment about the fact that the mask, when it's on the ground, looks a lot like
the pink character
Tsukiko's mascot.
Now, if we can go back actually to the early part, where do we see Tsukiko in this episode? There was it's here in the beginning. There's a very creepy thing that happens,
and it falls. Here. Yeah, she gets bumped or whatever, and it gets trampled on the ground, and the shape is almost exactly the same.
So this is something that's very creepy about this scene here. Is Tsukiko she's losing it also as well.
Right.
She's talking to her toy thing, basically, right?
Well, and there's also the whole idea that there's a connection, and she seems to be the main connection. So is there, is she totally in the clear or not?
They're using basic logic to showcase that, well, this is how the people are related to each other by...
Right, and it all started with her.
But it all started with her based on this... this whole thing here. So maybe it's someone that knows Tsukiko.
Right.
And then literally from her perspective up until this point, she's had a no, don't think about it. Don't think about it.
And then she starts pulling out the
Right. And the one that knows Tsukiko, in some ways, if she considers in her mind the toy to be an individual, she might also be she might be smart enough to realize, oh, who knows me? Well, no one knows me. Except you know me, which is actually her. So it's all cyclical in that regard.
But okay, can you try and find the frame where it's knocked? It's knocked on the ground.
So and then police investigators believe that someone close to Tsukiko Sagi would be the most likely suspect. As that happens, she basically
gets shoved or trips, or
I don't think she gets shoved. I think she just kind of I'll put the headphones on real quick just to hear this and stuff. Okay, she gets bumped by this guy here on the left. We actually do get a shot of him. Oh, okay, that's creepy. You can see Shonen Bad in the shadow here.
That's a reflection off of the TV. Yeah,
let me... Okay, so this guy here, he bumps her accidentally. He doesn't look like anyone we know. She gets knocked forward.
Right. And she looks back and she's like, where to go? It's right there. Yeah, and then here.
Well, it's basically just getting knocked to the side and stuff.
Right, and stepped on and whatnot, yeah.
Now, I don't think that this is something insanely deep that we're supposed to look into this, but I like the idea of, again, as things get closer for her to realize the truth that she conjured all of this up out of nothing, potentially. The thing, basically, the toy gets basically cast away as a distraction, as a, oh no.
Well, and one of the other things is that, so this is a mascot that kind of everyone seems to know about, right?
Yes.
Because it was stupid popular, right?
Yeah.
It's been everywhere. And here people are passing it by. They're ignoring it. They're stepping on it, right? The idea, now granted, it could just be nothing because it's commonplace, whatever. It's a little doll thing. But the idea that basically, that is something that is so in the past, right? That's yesterday's icon, basically. Now today's icon is Shonen Bat. The full rotation has happened. Because if Shonen Bat was basically something that was created from her own stress, but then also from the need to have a new character, right? And none of the other characters were really, like the ideas that she had were really worth anything. Now this old one that was a big deal, nothing anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I usually try to find where it applies specifically in the scene that it's placed in, because like I don't see how that insight applies to the rest of the scene that it's
well the rest of the episode definitely,
or just even the scene that it's in, like why it was placed in this scene where she's coming to the, like she's coming and looking at the TV and stuff like that.
Well, it could just be from the fact that she's seeing, you know, on the news people are still talking about Shonen Bat.
Okay.
But yeah, could be nothing.
All right. Well, okay. I liked the little bit here where there's actually another toy in the room when the three of them are all
I was kind of like, wait a minute, is that...
Well, I think if we went back, there were a bunch of character designs that she had as like...
There's a part of me that wonders if that was one of them.
That was one of them, possibly.
Yeah.
There's a whole creepy thing also as well that feels like there's maybe some symbolism with regards to how society has gotten really cold regarding these events and stuff, these things that are bad that happen. Remember what they show the there's been 200 injuries and 1 fatality or whatever.
Oh yeah, and then 2 fatalities,
and then that number just keeps going up.
Yeah,
but the injuries is like, it's like dramatic. It goes up like quite a lot. It's like their jurisdiction in areas in which showcase like, hey, yeah, we're doing our job. We're doing
that. Okay, that part was creepy.
It is,
where he's daydreaming and then he goes past Maria / Harumi.
Yeah. Guilt is a hell of a drug, or shame, more accurately, probably. But yeah, so he's doing all this stuff. He's breaking down who he is and losing sight of who he is as he basically gets put into a situation where there's an ever-moving target in front of him that he can never achieve. So he can never fulfill this goal. So like I would go crazy here probably as well. I don't know how anyone would stay sane, especially fearing for your own life. But not only that, if he does have a wife and kid, you know, he's thinking about them as well. But yeah, the fact that he was somehow like almost saved by the police chief coming in here, Ikari, I'm forgetting his name, Ikari, and then taking him to the restaurant or the bar or what have you.
Yeah, this
scene. Do you get anything deeper about this scene? Because I feel like this is not a conversation. This is one
2 separate
guy,
monologues.
This is one guy monologuing about something that he's not actually getting any feedback from Hirokawa about.
Right, it's him basically needing to process, and then it's Hirokawa trying to basically make sure that appearances are kept up.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like this is basically the biggest amount of characterization that we've gotten so far for the police chief.
Ikari,
yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Talking about why people commit crimes, and it's our job to figure out what those reasons are, because there's a lot of reasons. But
that oftentimes now there's just no reason is the reason. Yeah,
and they usually work on that idea of, okay, who had motive? You know, what are all these things? And now it's, there isn't
necessarily motive.
That can become a motive for crime, actually.
Right. Yeah. Well, and with Shonen Bat, that can definitely be a thing where, because we don't know. Like, I'm guessing the person that was caught here, whether that was Shonen Bat or just like a copycat, right? They would have no way of knowing, as far as we can tell,
right, that
their strikes would be so precise as far as the people that they're attacking.
Yeah, this shot here where you see it and it's almost like it has eyes.
Yep.
Yeah, that reminds me exactly of the
and those things would always scare me the most as a kid, whenever I'd be like, in bed late at night, and I'd kind of wake up.
Toys of some kind, or
just like if I left out some laundry, as like a little kid,
sure. and it forms a shape,
and suddenly, your mind fills in the gaps and everything, and suddenly it's a face staring back at you, and it's like, no,
that's the creepy stuff. So Shonen Bat comes and like, can we think about this as actually being a thing that, okay. Now here's the thing. if this is supposed to be a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty, I don't know, kind of older looking kid.
Well, the face, definitely.
The face, especially.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is that there's a part where Shonen Bat has the little, like, smirk.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, that hurt! And then, why the hell did you do that? And then Shonen Bat tries to get away, and he actually, like, chucks the shoe.
Chucks a shoe, yeah.
And hits him square on. Now,
yep.
I don't know if we want to get into the metaphysical here, but let's run with the stupid theory for just cut me off when we go too far here. I think we can only go for about 60 seconds here.
Yeah. I think I am seeing where you're going.
But the idea that
mm-hmm.
he would actually hit the kid with the shoe, like, there's no way.
Well, so here's the thing. We know that this is at least mostly true because the news people are there. Like, this was enough of an event that lasted under enough scrutiny that he is in the news about it, right? For catching Shonen Bat. Now, it could be something where maybe the kid didn't necessarily, like, attack him.
Yeah.
Maybe the kid went by and, like, you know, tripped him or something like that. Like something more harmless, right?
Uh-huh.
But he was dressed up as Shonen Bat because he just thought Shonen Bat was cool or something, right?
Sure.
Or potentially didn't even, think anything by it. Just kids doing stupid stuff because they're kids, right? You know?
Yeah, it could have been a kid with a baseball cap on, and when this whole thing happens, he sees a kid that looks at the thing here. We can even, like, I don't want to go too much into the we can't trust anything we see kind of things here because that just kind of ruins certain parts of this show's visual storytelling.
Well, and especially with this episode seeming to, for the first time, show something in contrary to that, right?
Yes.
That we can believe what we're seeing.
Yes.
And that if there was something where it's like the kid didn't have a bat or the kid didn't actually attack him or things like that, right? That would come out very clearly once you go into the actual investigation. Now, it could
once
be
you start interrogating the
right
kid,
now it could be something where it's like, okay, well, the police officer, like, was saying that you attacked him, right? And there's no other witnesses or whatever, and he's a police officer, so we're believing him or something like that. But that would still seem pretty fishy, right?
It's something where I think the theory is dumb, but we need to question this kid and see what he knows
and why the kid's doing this because
that's huge.
I'm with you that I think it's a copycat thing at this point because we haven't seen the face this defined yet or anything, and maybe, who knows, maybe it's the idea that this actually is Shonen Bat. The Shonen Bat was doing something, but then there's more meaning attributed to it because of the stuff, and that's the paranoia, and then the paranoia continues after, right? I could definitely see that being a thing.
I just want there to be a storyline where Shonen Bat gets caught, but Shonen Bat keeps going out there doing his thing.
Right, and whether that's because the Shonen Bat was the first one that was caught or wasn't the first one that was caught, who knows? Who's to say? Paranoia, right? But if it is Shonen Bat, or either way, I want to see the motivations for this kid. And doubly so or triply so if it is actually the original.
Yeah. Which I'm like almost...
I'd say I'm 80% sure it's not.
Same.
Because
I'm up in the 80 to 90% sure that it's not.
Because
it's not the original.
It'd be really tough for them to keep it this complex and to have Shonen Bat really be the fulcrum for the entire story. If Shonen Bat is a regular person that gets caught, they'd have to be very particular
for every
how they do
single
it.
instance.
Right.
So
yeah.
We don't learn actually that much more here. We just got a lot more questions. And
got another story.
But there isn't a clear segue into which character we'll be discussing the nature of things with, unless it is actually this kid.
Yeah, either the kid or Akira. Or Ikari.
Ikari.
Yeah. Because now they do have the tie-in back to the cops, to the other cops now. So if they wanted to do that,
you mentioned that earlier, right?
But yeah, I think the actual Shonen Bat kid here, that makes a lot more sense for the next episode.
What if this is where the show just goes off the deep end?
It could,
and it just completely is like, okay, we've closed the loop. Now paranoia is out there; it's taking effect,
right?
And you're going to come to the realization that this is just one kid out there. And that's it.
I didn't realize something.
Yeah.
Even though they've followed the formula of different people getting attacked each episode, they don't necessarily have to continue that formula to the end of the show.
Of course not.
They could take it like halfway or something,
right?
And then they show then they showcase the paranoia with other people, but then also how the characters that have been attacked are trying to basically readjust into their lives post, you know? So we don't have to, like, if this show's like 12 episodes or 13 episodes or whatever it is, we don't have to have 13 separate attacks.
That's true.
Judging by the ED, I don't think there will be.
No.
Right?
No, if anything, it'll be closer to like 6 or 7.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then we're getting pretty close to that number.
We are, yeah.
You know? So.
That's some good meta knowledge, yeah. With regards to how they keep making sure to bring up Tsukiko in every episode and have her get a little bit close to something, and then she pulls back regarding the investigation. If she's the main character still, like if she's actually just the main character still, what if this is a story about her then trying to redeem the situation and pull everyone out of paranoia via maybe a conversation with the old guy? Like she eventually converges with the old, you know, Professor Einstein looking guy. The guy's crazy and stuff like that. And he kind of is like, yeah, you need to undo this formula that you've this mathematical gobbledygook that you've, you know, put into being, this chaos theory or whatever.
And maybe that could be by having Shonen Bat become a commercialized character. You know? Like,
oh, Satoshi Kon that would be
corporatism save the day.
Oh, that would be gross.
Who knows? Like, people can't be paranoid of it if they're buying bobbleheads of it. Like,
that's so disturbing, though. Like, see, I think the only way they could do that is if they had it be a thing of, like, where she basically comes forward and realizes, like, hey, guys, I made this up. I made this up entirely because I was scared. She goes super honest about the whole thing. Then all the people that were copycats and stuff like that feel bad. And they start to have a little bit of a thing of where it's not a thing of where Shonen Bat becomes a thing of where, well, no, this feels too dark of a show.
But if they did do that, then Tsukiko wouldn't have to worry about getting sued for plagiarism by the real Shonen Bat because you stole my my design and marketed it to other people. I came up with that. How dare you?
Oh, God. But I'm just saying that's a way that it could be commercialized then.
Yeah.
Just when you said, like, hey, it could get commercialized, there's just like this sickening, like, vomit feeling that's like rising up in my chest. And I'm just like, that's so nasty.
Which could be commentary on the fact that, you know, anime for the most part makes its money on figurines and merchandise and things like that.
Come on. This is on society, not on anime. Like, this is a
commentary. You don't know, Caleb. You don't know. The paranoia sets in. It could be everything. It could be nothing.
I think individual stories like the guy being obsessed with a manga to the point where he self-inserts himself to the protagonist story and takes his actions, which
risks.
Are immoral and or not really necessarily immoral, but they're illegal on multiple levels.
And one of the things that
kind of justifies them being there. I'm the hero, you know.
Well, and one of the things that really made this story hit harder for me was the idea that it started because he tried to shake down the mafia, right?
So you know,
because he's like, yeah, I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to stick it to them and everything. And it's like, no, because otherwise I was
he was already involved though.
Right? Yeah, he was already involved. But there was this idea that when the guy first showed up and was like, you know, 2 million yen, have it in 3 days. I was like, wait, that doesn't seem like the kind of thing the mafia would do. Because like he's helping them out, he's turning blind eyes and things like that. But
it's more like it was
trying
vindication.
To extort. Yeah, exactly. Vengeance.
Hey, your name got passed around.
That. Yeah.
And you think you're hot shit. Yeah, now I'm just gonna come in here and give you a talking to. Yep. But the idea that he had his number, that he knew who he was. No, he was already a crooked cop in the whole
for sure
the whole organization. But for some reason he thought it would be okay to cannibalize within the organization for the purpose of, you know, leveraging his knowledge and or Harumi's knowledge to get money for his house. Yeah, now, we might be misinterpreting his exact actions, but the reasons why he did these actions, we understand them pretty well. So, okay, this is interesting. So let's interrogate a kid next episode.
Yeah.
So y'all, If you want to see that next episode's reaction and discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about these stories, about anime in general. You can get involved with the community there. It's a lot of fun. And you can also talk with Jake about his book.
Yes, my sci-fi novel, Battle Lines, is still available for order on Amazon. The link is in the description below, so go check it out. And if you do get it, make sure to leave a review and let people know what you think.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.